Maria, back on another quick video, and I was thinking as I was taking my shower today how all of this assumptions and discrimination, how it really doesn't make any sense to me. Like, for example, I know that my family has probably held it against me for a very long time for having a child out of wedlock, okay? And that was a mistake that I made in my earlier years, okay? And I don't really look at my son as a mistake, okay? I think that sometimes good things come out of things that may be bad. And my son is definitely something that makes me very happy, and I love him very much, and I'm quite proud of my son. But, you know, I notice that there's a lot of hypocrisy when it comes to fundamentalist Christians, okay? Which I never realized exactly how sick this program is. These people are. I mean, I know that a lot of, for example, fundamentalists, okay? They will preach against people getting abortions. They will picket, you know, a place. They will scorn somebody for making that decision to get an abortion, but when somebody actually wants to take responsibility for something that they've done wrong and raise their child, they want to sit here and come into the workplace and destroy this person's life by harassing them, okay? So I really do have a bad opinion of fundamentalism. I don't have anything against Christianity if it's practiced correctly, but the kind of stuff that goes on that most people affiliate with is bullshit, and people need to wake up and see what this shit really is, because it's not of God at all. Also, you know, I was thinking how people take it upon themselves to judge and decide what is offensive and who are the people in this world who are undesirables, okay? Now, in my past, I'm going to tell you, I've never had very many boyfriends, okay? So I've never been like, you know, running around and that kind of stuff. I've pretty much been a homebody all my life. But I do remember meeting a lady when I was younger who was an ex-Mormon, and she got divorced from Utah and moved out to California. And I'm going to tell you, this woman, now she converted to Mormonism, so she wasn't originally a Mormon, okay? So she, you know, was accustomed to a certain lifestyle. Now, this woman slept with Tom, Dick, and Harry, Shirley, Sally, Mary. I mean, this woman was just sleeping all over the place, okay? And I will say that I enjoyed her company. I thought she was a funny person. Did I think that her lifestyle was something that I kind of was like, damn, I mean, I couldn't believe what she was willing and able to do, okay? But I never thought that this woman was not worthy of living. I never judged her to the point of where I thought, you know, you shouldn't have a job and people need to blacklist you. I'm going to tell you, there's a lot of people in society who are dating and they are in these relationships and they're not married and they are practicing premarital sex or whatever you want to call it, which is called fornication if you're going to look at it from a biblical standpoint. And they do this on a common basis, and yet people are trying to accuse me of stuff and persecute me. This is what I don't understand, okay? So when I'm really looking at the situation, the hypocrisy when it comes to, you know, people who say they're against abortion and then attacking somebody who is a single parent who wants to take responsibility for their kid, just trying to make a living, and people are coming around attacking her and destroying her life, and then people who which makes no sense, okay? So these people are just basically wanting to release hatred and frustration on the first person that they see. And whoever they deem as a scapegoat, they want to just throw all this shit on top of them. I'm going to tell you that this behavior is wrong, okay? And it certainly isn't Christian, okay? Because we all know that there's scriptures in the Bible about, you know, he who cast the first stone, and people who I forgot the one about how could you say something when there's a raptor in your... I need to look up the scripture. I might even post it in the description box. But my point is that, you know, I didn't deserve the shit that people were accusing me of and how they were treating me. I also want to say that I'm trying to figure out this whole thing. I know religion is an issue. I know people were pissed off because my family was pissed off, which I really think that was ridiculous, and that was just another form of their hatred and abuse. But I know they resented the fact that I had a child out of wedlock, okay? But what I don't understand is if my suspicion is correct, if my family wanted me to leave my husband and be with somebody else, I'm trying to figure out how that's Christian, okay? None of this makes sense to me. So this is just, to me, a bunch of psychotic people wanting to enact rage, okay? And this is what bothers me, and this is what happens with a lot of targeted individuals, because most of them aren't deserving of being shut out of employment, being scapegoated from a community, being ostracized from a community. Nobody in the face of this earth deserves that, okay? Unless, of course, you're like a murderer or something like that. I don't judge people. And even though, like, you know, I guess some people would look at me like, man, you're kind of prudy and you don't really do anything. But yet I could still treat the person who may be a prostitute with the utmost respect. Why? Because she's a human being. And I also want to say that even though this person may do things that you might roll your eyes at and judge her harshly, most women who get involved in that sort of situation have very low self-esteem. So why are you going to beat up somebody who pretty much is struggling and hates themselves? Nobody needs to be treated that way. And so, once again, Maria has proved that she is better than the so-called bullshit Christians that are sitting here trying to convert me to their way of thinking. Fuck these people. You know, I want to go back to the lady that I used to know, the ex-Mormon. No, I thought she did kind of throw herself away a little bit too much, and I thought she was a very intelligent person, so for her to resort to that sort of behavior, I didn't understand, okay? But I will say that if she knocked at my door, I would give her a room to stay. To this very day, I would. Why? Because she's a human fucking being, is why. And I'm not going to judge her, and I'm not going to sit here and point the finger at somebody like that. Because you know why? Even though I'm not like that, okay, I'm not perfect. I'm a human being. I don't have the right to judge other people. And I want to ask another question. If people do choose to live whatever life they want to, why and how does that affect them? It doesn't affect you, you know. And so that's why I'm just tired of people and their worldly ways of thinking, and that's why I choose to be very selective about who I associate with, because I don't want to be around people who are psychotic, and that type of psychosis is very common, okay? Like I said, anybody who got involved in this proves it, and look how many people got involved in it, all right? So, anyway, I just wanted to express that opinion, and, you know, if people can learn from this situation, not only you know, don't blacklist people, don't shun people, don't treat people like that. But if you really want to be a true, have a true relationship with God, and if you really want to not, if you want to be a better person, look at yourself and look at your motivations as to why you want to hurt somebody. Because everybody is guilty. And I bet you there's more people here in this town, and I'm pretty damn sure of it, who have done a far lot worse than I did, okay? Like, I lied about my race, and I had a child out of wedlock. But there's people who, like I told you, I worked for a boss, you know, who did some things, okay? And she went to jail. Doesn't anybody hold that against her? No, they don't. Okay? So, once again, we're dealing with people who just want to enact rage, and they want to use religion as an excuse. So, anyway, I'll hope people open up their eyes and start thinking about, you know, why they hate people and stop treating people so poorly. That's my advice to people. And of course, they don't have to listen, but I don't want to be like the rest of the world. I don't think most people that I meet have very high moral standards, and that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for good people. I don't want to deal with people who hurt other people. I would never do that, okay? I will never hurt somebody just because they live a different lifestyle than me. You know, I just won't do that. Anyway, I'm wrapping up this video. Have a good evening.